Hi, it's Carrie here from Lightwork NI. I wanted to do a video today about EFT or tapping. I've mentioned before that I wanted to do this really because EFT or tapping, emotional freedom technique, is so misunderstood. I mean, when I talk to clients about this, I use it therapeutically. I'm a master practitioner and I've been using EFT and tapping as part of my clinical practice for a few years now with incredible results. I love this tool. But always when I first introduce it, it resonates with me so much because when I introduce it to people who are sitting with me, I'm reminded of my first response to seeing someone go, so you just hit the points and you say things while you tap, and me going, oh please, more like of this like wacky. But you know what? I have been on a journey the past few years that has just forced me to really look closely and reevaluate what I'm dismissing. And I started to dive into the science behind it. And that's always a door in for me, is when I understand how things are working and why they're effective, and the evidence, really indisputable, peer-reviewed, good, robust scientific studies, then I start to go, okay, now I'm prepared to give it a chance. So what I really wanted to do was give you a bit of what convinced me, to maybe lead you to look at the crazy tappy thing with a fresh approach, I suppose, which is what I got from it. And then I'd really like to take you through a full session of tapping away something which is live for all of us at the minute, which is anxiety. And it's coming for me in waves. Anxiety is coming in an unexpected wave that needs to be ridden through and looked at and observed a little bit and released. And oh my goodness, if ever there was a tool that works for that, it's tapping. So some of the science that rang my bell, for want of a better phrase, was two studies in particular really got me. One is a Dr. Dawson Church ran a project called the Stress Project, and it was a really good, robust, large sample size, really well run, scientifically run. And he did it with PTSD in veterans. So ex-combat people who had PTSD from very real trauma that was live in their bodies and affecting their lives in very real ways. And he did it with blood tests, and he did it as a scientist. And what he discovered was once these guys got good at the tapping, once they were doing it confidently and well and producing scripts that were personal and real, the adrenaline and cortisol in their bloodstream after a round of tapping, while they remembered a traumatic event, was reduced chemically, a physical measurable thing, by 63%. I found that really convincing. So the next study that took me up a level again to looking at this was in Australia. And that's an interesting one because in Australia, it was a psychiatrist who specialises in disordered eating and eating disorders. And what she did, now it's a much smaller sample size, there were only 15 people in this control group, because she used MRI scanning, which is really expensive and hard to fund for a very big study. So what this lady did was she took a group of patients who really struggled with out of control cravings for unhealthy food groups. So sugary foods, junk foods. And she did a study where she put 15 of them into an MRI scanner and looked at the movie clip of the bits of their brain that lit up and were aroused when they were shown pictures of really foods they craved. So this could be anything. For them it was food, but neural pathways that linked the image of sugary, unhealthy junk food like burgers and donuts and whatever to the bits of their brain that craved it and wanted it. And that was the link. So she did that, and predictably the bits of their brain that licked up were lit up under MRI scanning were the bits that were really aroused to crave it on week 1. They then all got, half of them got 4 weeks of EFT, daily tapping, and half of them didn't. And then they re-scanned them exactly the same way with the same images. So the group which had 4 weeks of EFT, when they scanned them and showed them the image, there was 0 arousal in their brains in response to the images. And the group who had no intervention or just talking therapy still had significant arousal in exactly the same way. So I don't want to bore you to tears, but what the evidence there is that it kind of rewires your brain's response to a stimulus or a trigger. So if you transfer the very simple eating thing to something that makes you anxious, afraid, agitated, or gives you really uncomfortable feelings in your body, and that could be a memory or anything that triggers that in you, the same way the thought of the food triggers a craving, a memory of something, and the PTSD work this way, we can tap to completely clear that and leave it not arousing your brain in that way at all. So this is why EFT is used extensively for things like fear of flying, phobias, works incredibly well. So EFT, or that tap-in routine, works on energy points in the body. It's actually almost like acupuncture points. So they're energy meridians where we know the energy flows through us and it gets blocked and gets stuck in particular ways. And you literally tap pretty much where you would put needles to free up the blocks if you were having an acupuncture session. So it crosses lots of modalities, which I find fascinating. So how do we tap? I teach this in schools now. I teach it, and one of the best endorsements, I think, there is no one more cynical, I find, than a year 12 in their confident sort of, I know everything. And when you're teaching them something that involves in front of their peers, sitting in a classroom, tapping their face while they say things out loud like this, if it didn't work, they would say so. So I taught this over 4 weeks to a group in Sullivan Upper School last year, the year 12s. And I mean, some of them might recognize these quotes if they watch this, but some of the evaluations, they were completely anonymous at the end of the course. One guy said, I did not think this would work, but it really did. And now I use it every night before a big rugby match, because it's the only thing that lets me sleep when I'm really nervous. So that was someone who did not think it would work, very skeptical, really cynic, and absolutely it works. And now he uses it independently to get to sleep before a rugby match. So there's that. The other one was a girl who said, again, I felt silly doing this. I didn't think it would work, but the tapping makes me feel, and these are her words, buzzy, tingly, covered in goosebumps, and really calm. So, like I say, if a 16-year-old who's coming in feeling silly and not believing in this can get those results at the end of feedback, if nothing else, it's worth giving it a real good try. It'll take a wee while to get the hang of it, for sure. It does feel weird, but it's so worth it, because it's a tool that once you get good at it becomes transferable. It's not just for anxiety and fear. And I'll explain to you how that journey works, because we begin using tapping to release negative stuff that we don't want, like cravings for unhealthy behaviors, or like anxiety and fear and anger and all sorts of emotions in our body that are getting in the way. But we can then flip that and start to tap in feelings and energy states that we do want. And then it starts to get really powerful to create shift and change in your life and your relationships and how you manage things. So Stage 1, I'm going to do a session now for anxiety because I think that's really live and active in everyone at different times at the moment. So stage 1 in dealing with anything with EFT is to measure how you're feeling. Just drop inside, close your eyes. I recommend put a hand on your tummy, just kind of on that upper part of your tummy. Close your eyes and check in. And I suggest that you rate how you're feeling on a scale. I use -10 to +10, with 0 being meh, neutral. 0 is just okay, neutral, neither good nor bad, but okay. And we use a thing called the SU scale in therapy, if you can see that. And it goes from -10 is lying flat, collapsed, just not coping in crisis, to 0 right up to +10, which is the most amazing you could feel, like buzzing with elation and excitement. So measure yourself there at this very start of the session with that check-in, hand on heart, hand on tummy, or just a hand on your tummy, and go, so where am I now? How am I actually feeling? That's your first stage. And just remember that number. Remember where you're at right now. So in terms of anxiety, how am I feeling? And hold that number in your mind. So the next thing, the second thing you need to do is give this session of tapping, because you're about to do an intervention. You're about to really do something to shift your whole energy state. And I suggest that you give that a title. This session is about, in this session, I want to tackle, or for me, this is about feeling anxious. This is about my anxiety. This is feeling anxious. Okay. And then every session starts with your hand. If you take one hand on your heart and the other hand over the top, cross them over, hold your heart, really like hold yourself there, close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths and give that title. So feeling really anxious. Real anxiety now in my body, feeling so anxious. This is about that anxiety. 3 deep breaths and let your body and your whole energy system know really clearly, this is what we're addressing right now. This is what is live in this session, the anxiety. That's what we're targeting. Those 3 deep breaths with your hands on your heart are like a pause button and a shift. It begins the readiness for a shift in what's happening inside of you. And it's like a signal to all of you that something's coming. We're about to do something quite real. So the first round of tapping, I suggest you start with just the words of what you're actually feeling. And just here's how it goes. With each tapping point, you have a series of points, top of your head, tap several times. I use these 2 fingers, so you want to be tapping lightly and rhythmically on the point, each point in turn. So right on the top of the crown of your head, you can tap around in a circle on the crown of your head, or just right at the crown, and you tap while you say, feeling so anxious, or whatever it is for you. So top of your head is first. Next one is right in the center of your forehead. Several light rhythmic taps, center of your forehead, where your third eye would be, if you imagine that being there. And oh, so much anxiety in my body. So your next point is the corner of your eyebrow. So where the hair ends, in that groove, corner of your eyebrow, right there. And you tap, so much anxiety, really anxious. So big deep breath and the words that you're saying as you tap lightly on that point. The next one is the corner of your eye. So in the bone of your eye socket, right in that corner, rhythmic, lightly, with a big breath, all this anxiety in my body. And then under your nose, between your nose and your lip, right there. Rhythmic, light with a breath. So much anxiety. Next point is in the crease of your chin, between your lip and your chin, where that crease is. And you can start to get specific on what is it? What is the anxiety in your body? So this tightness in my tummy, the anxiety. Next point is on your collarbone. So if you find the bone and there's a groove just under it, just right there, rhythmic, several taps, both fingers, bum, 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 find your rhythm, breathe. All this tightness swirling in my tummy. Okay, so different people will have different experiences of anxiety. The more specific, the better. So from that point, you go on to the side of each fingernail, on the flesh at the side of your fingernail, starting with your thumb. Same thing. This washing machine in my tummy, swirling with tightness. This fog around my head. This tightness in my throat. This heartbeat that's so rapid. All this anxiety. So each fingernail in turn, you're tapping, breathing, and saying the statement. And your finish for the round, that's one round of tapping, is your karate chop point. So on the heel of your hand, tapping really rhythmically. All of this tightness, fear, and anxiety in my body. And you end back on your heart with both hands and 3 deep breaths. All this anxiety swirling around my body. Heart beating fast, tummy really tense. So much anxiety stuck in my body. And that's one full round. That's what we call a round of tapping. From this setup statement on your heart, declaring what you're dealing with. Then each tapping point, top of your head, third eye, side of your eyebrow, corner of your eye, under your nose, on your chin, on that crease, on your collarbone, each finger, side of each fingernail in turn, followed by your karate chop, and back on your heart for 3. That's a full round. So if you do that with exactly what is present right now, that's all the first round is what is real and active and present right now in my body and in me. The tightness in my tummy. So other clients would tap on this grey fog around my head. This thing's stopping me thinking straight. I'm tapping automatically now. I can't think straight. So what's real? Tap through that on a full round and you'll have released it. When you come away from your heart point, you go, oh, okay. So what's real now? And what you will always find is it has shifted. The grey fog will have lifted. The blockage in your throat will free up and you go, so what is it now? What's real now? And it'll be, and tap a full round of that. So rescore. I suggest 2 rounds and then deep breath and rescore that scale. We call it the Sue scale. And if you're interested, email me, kerry@lightworkni.org, and I'll send you the Sue scale PDF, or we'll make it a download. Rescore that. If you were a -5, chances are you'll have shifted to at least a -1, -2, and you'll be going just off neutral, like, whoa, that's quite a shift. Keep tapping, keep clearing until you get to 0 or +1, and you will. Amazing. When you're there, now we shift the energy. Now we begin. Your final one might be, and it works well for me with lots of clients, to do one on, I'm releasing this energy. I'm letting it go. It's flowing through me now. Blockages are cleared. Energy is flowing. I'm ready to release all the anxiety. I'm letting it go. I'm free of the anxiety. It's clear, feels good. I'm letting the anxiety go. The fog is cleared, my tummy's settled, feeling so much better. So a round like that, it just creates the move from all of what you've been looking at to what we're about to create. And then I want you to think, what do I want instead? What's my next step out of this feeling? So for anxiety, commonly it'll be, I need to feel safe and calm, protected. Those are 3 good ones. So try to find 2 or 3 words and just feeling safe, I'm feeling calm, feeling protected, feeling good. See if you can reach for that, or what's real for you. So much more powerful when it's your words. And here we go. Feeling calm, feeling safe, feeling good, feeling protected, feeling held, feeling good, feeling safe now. So calm, de-stressed, relaxed, so calm, protected, feeling good, energy flowing, feeling good, or feeling better, moving it out, clearing that anxiety and shift it through until you get to your final round, which can be happy now, feeling great, feeling so good, happy energy flowing through me, energized, feeling good now, ready to go, killing things, loving life, feeling great, so much better, feeling so good now, all that release, feeling so free and clear, so happy now. And score it again on that Sue scale. And you'll be up at a +5, +4, +5. Hopefully you're getting right up the scale. And just take a moment to appreciate that you'll have shifted from maybe a -3, -4, -5, right up into +5. Whoa, how powerful is that? That'll happen in 10 to 15 minutes. It'll happen faster, more powerfully and more efficiently each time you do it, because your body and your whole energy system will begin to recognize, oh, I know what's coming now. A shift is happening. Here we go. And it just starts to respond so much better. And this becomes a tool. I'm going to do a series of videos. That's one on anxiety, and we're hitting on 20 minutes, which is long enough for one video. But as an introduction, I really hope that if I've done nothing else, I have got you to the point where you go, what have I got to lose? Sit by yourself. Nobody needs to watch you tap in your face like those poor year 12s in Sullivan Upper and lots of other schools I've been in. But sit and do it. Do it to a mirror. Write your script first if it works for you, or let it be live and let it be real. And just remember your routine. Do it with this video if it helps. Take notes. Let me know how you get on. I would love to hear. Stick them in the comments on YouTube. If you have any questions from this, fire them to me in an email or in the comments, and I'll use them in the next of the series of videos as we clear lots of stuff. Anxiety is a big one. So is anger, frustration, fear about the future, and doing good specific scripts for all those things is one of the most powerful things you can do, and one of the greatest gifts you can give to yourself. Why not? It's free, doesn't cost a penny. You can do it anywhere. When you get good at it, I'll go on in one of the other videos about how we can do abbreviated tapping, so you can do it really discreetly. I spot some politicians recently being interviewed that were doing discreet tapping. They've obviously been coached. Gets used a lot for high performance sport, and also for even on the X Factor, I've seen them use it. So get good at it. It's a tool that you can have in your toolkit. why wouldn't you? Like I say, it doesn't cost a penny, and if it works, whoa, amazing. And if it doesn't, you can just smile and give it another go at a time you might be more ready. Just stay open-minded. What else have you got to do these days? So thank you so much. If you've watched this far, you're like 25 minutes or so in the video, which is a long one. Thanks for persevering, and really do let me know how you get on. I would be really interested. Bye. Take care. Happy tapping.